All right, so in this video, we're going to be looking at conducting two sample hypothesis tests for two proportions. So let's look at our example. In the last 10 years, 51 of the 319 first-round picks of the NFL draft have made multiple Pro Bowls. Over the same time span, 35 of the 295 NBA first-round picks have made multiple All-Star teams. Use your calculator to test if there is enough evidence at the 5% level of significance to suggest that an NFL first-round pick is more likely to go to multiple All-Star games than an NBA first-round pick. Now, for this, we'll be conducting a two-proportion z-test. Notice that in our problem, we have 51 of 39, so that's a proportion. 35 of 295, that's a proportion. No mention is made anywhere of either raw data or standard deviations, and that kind of is what tells us that this must be a proportion problem. So the two proportion test is listed in our tests menu under the stats thing. So we're going to go find that by selecting the stat menu and then scrolling over to the test submenu. And then the two proportion z-test is number 6 on that list. So you can get there by hitting 6 or scrolling down to line 6 and then pressing enter. Now, in the menu we're given, we have to enter the data that's available to us. So for X1, that's going to be the number of people that are in the sample that, in this case, went to the Pro Bowl. And then N1 is the total number of people that were in that sample. So 51 and 319. If in the second group, we had 35 out of 295. Now, if the problem gives you a proportion, so 16% or whatever, you, instead of X, you would have to multiply that percentage by the sample size, and then you would have to make sure that that is a whole number. The problem won't work if it's not a whole number. So in this case, they gave you the count, and so you don't have to do any calculations, but some problems will give you the percentage, and then you will have to convert that back to a count by multiplying by the corresponding sample size and then rounding to a whole number. Now, in this case, our hypothesis test that we want to calculate is to see if NBA players are more likely to go or are less likely to go to the All-Star game or the Pro Bowl than NFL players. So P1 we're claiming is higher than P2. So that's why we're going to select this third option from our hypothesis test list. And then finally, we're going to scroll down to calculate and we're going to hit enter. And it's going to print all of our data. Now, this will take 2 screens to fill up because in addition to the z-test and the p-value, it will also calculate our proportions for both of the samples for us and restate the sample sizes. But what we're most interested in is what's at the top of the screen. This is a restatement of our alternative hypothesis. This is our z-test statistic, and then this is our p-value. The first p, notice it doesn't have a hat on top of it. That's the p-value for our test. Now, if the significance level is 0.05, then our p-value is 0.07. That is higher than our significance level, and therefore we are unable to reject the null hypothesis. We would have to say that there is not enough evidence to suggest that NFL players' first-round picks are more likely to go to their Pro Bowl / All-Star game than a first-round NBA pick.